For the green.
Go to the next one. That's essentially the site development.
Can I stop you real quick?
Sure.
Just out of curiosity. So you're saying the front parking lot's phase 2. When does phase 2 start?
We're going to show you that right now on the next slide that we have. This is also page 3 on your handout that you have. Essentially, what this is showing is the school has asked us to design the project, design the new school entirely while keeping the existing school operational. So the best opportunity to do that would be to develop the building itself and everything at the rear of the new facility, including the stormwater and erosion control, to facilitate that. And then part of that also includes, if you see right here, this little winding access road that's a temporary construction entrance only. It'll be gated at the bottom. There'll be a sign there saying only construction traffic permitted. So construction vehicles will come in one way. They will access the rear of the building. Their trailers will be at the middle of the rear lot, and their staging areas in the rear also for materials. And then they will continue along the deliveries, and the semis will continue along around the new school and exit out School Street. The school is going to have a little temporary play area that we're going to establish in front so they can maintain their recess. And everything out front will be undisturbed during this phase of the project. So in essence, the entire new school will be ready to go and ready for the school to move in prior to the demolition of the existing.
What's the timeline on these?
May 19th, 2017 is the complete building construction.
Starting when?
Yes, starting this fall. Yeah. And then they're going to demo the existing building between June 1st and August 4th, 2017. And then the entire project is to be completed by August 28th, 2017 for the start of that academic school year.
I did want to make a comment on that too. Whenever you're talking about that construction road, that's going to come down, I think that's what, Oak Street by the fire department?
Correct.
They're not Muse Bishop, the main road there?
Yes.
Muse Bishop, okay. That was the one concern we had back in February too, was the site distance there. Because when we met down where School Street was with Muse Bishop, then we went over to the fire department. There was only about 4 of us that went out there, but our police chief, Bukovinsky, had taken a police car and put it right over that rise right there. And he had the lights flashing and everything, and you couldn't see from standing right there. I walked out in the middle of the road, you couldn't see it. So we are going to have some concerns there about, even with just construction. I mean, that's why we didn't want the school buses going in there naturally. Right, with construction, there's limited sight distance there.
Yeah, I remember I was part of that meeting, because at that time we did the PennDOT study, and it showed that we met their criteria, but it was minimal, and there were concerns about having the access in and out there, so that's why we reevaluated the structure of the egress into the building, or into the site, and tried to look at alternatives. That's why we've also made this in-only construction to help with the flow, although there might be a little bit of concern for trucks coming from the south, still, or vehicles coming from the south getting into the site. One of the comments from the Planning Commission back to this temporary road that we were just talking about is that the school district had asked it to be an alternate bid. We were constructed as part of the base bid, but they were going to take it apart and replace everything to its original condition after the project as an option. The Planning Commission did give us a recommendation. They thought it would be a good idea if we kept that permanently for a secondary emergency vehicle access to the site. So that was one of the recommendations by the Planning Commission.
Was that implemented by the school?
Well, again, we didn't have that in. That's why the school put it in, I believe, as an alternate bid, so they could evaluate it on a cost basis. The school would have to address any other comments concerning keeping it or We feel it's a good idea for construction just to keep the flow going around the site in one-way direction.
Anything else?
That's all I have as far as any presentations concerned, so I'll open it up for any other additional questions from supervisors.
So you said the school district is going to try to decide whether they want to keep that.
Well, it wasn't part of the original scope of work, and I think that is why, one of the reasons why they wanted to keep it as an alternate to see what the price is.
Keep what is correct? To keep what?
Just to have an understanding of what the additional cost would be.
To keep what is an
Oh, I'm sorry, the temporary construction road that we're going to construct at the south of the building.
So are you asking us as part of this to approve this temporary construction road?
Yeah, that's part of the site plan, part of the.
Well, I want him to answer it.
Well, right now, it is an alternate bid for the school to decide whether they want to leave it as a future emergency access or if they want to.
Well, I'm asking you if you're asking us to approve this temporary construction road as part of the plan.
Yes.
One of my concerns that I had from the beginning, and I think you addressed it tonight, is that infiltration basin that you have where there'll be stormwater drainage. I know it's going to be used kind of as a sediment pond while construction is done. But you said there's going to be a fence around it, a 6-foot fence, correct?
Correct.
And what is going to be the depth at it there before it starts draining? Would it be pretty shallow? Are you talking like 12 to 18 inches of water?
I think I would ask Pat to address that, if he could.
Or is it going to be deeper than that? Or?
Well, the pond is actually deeper than that, depending upon the year storm that we encounter. It's designed for a 25-year. So it's also designed to drain over a 24-hour period. So if you get a peak storm, the pond will fill up and then it will slowly drain at a release rate to a pre-developed condition over the next 24-hour period. So it's not designed as a wet pond, it will drain.
It should drain out of it within a short period of time.
And what period of time did you say that was?
They're usually designed in the 24-hour.
They're usually designed. How would it be affected by what we've been through over the last almost 2 months of the rains?
It would have water in it every time it rains, and it would drain.
And you think that would all drain up within the 24-hour period?
Pretty much, yes. The release rates are designed for that. Any other questions on that?
Is there any concern, since you're having the construction come down School Street, that there may be construction vehicles coming through at a point in time where school vehicles are coming through?
Matt's going to address that.
Sure. One thing John didn't point out is along the back of Phase 2 is a construction fence along the back of the parking lots on the existing school, all the way down to the left of the construction road. The district has procured a on-site owner's representative who will schedule the arrival and dismissal times of construction traffic, depending, in coordination with arrival and dismissal times for the students, so that there won't be any overlap there.
Is there any concern about security having so many construction employees on the school grounds at the same time students are there?
That's another reason for the
That's
fence.
more of a parent question.
Yeah, it's, the fence will separate, construction from students. Every contractor on site is mandated to have the appropriate clearances, just as any school employee, and that's another task of our owner's representative. He will maintain and warehouse and make sure that everyone has those appropriate clearances.
That's good. Thank you.
And there will literally be a chain link fence around the enclosure that formulates the development of the existing school. You can kind of see it on this drawing here. It's encompassed by a chain link fence. One other thing about the stormwater that I neglected to mention was there was some issues downstream past the site with a pipe that has, it was only 24-inch diameter. It's also been filled up silt wasn't operating as it should. As part of the requirements or the comments was to analyze that downstream system to see if it could take our capacity. We found out that we would need to replace that with a 36-inch diameter pipe. We are in the process of getting agreements from the owners, one of which is the volunteer fire department's property, a gravel lot, to allow us to go into that property and take out the 24-inch and replace it with a 36-inch pipe.
Dan, was it 36 they had to replace it with, or more? I thought it was 40.
No, 36 was.
I thought you said that.
Sorry.
No, one time I think we were tossing around 48.
48, that's what I thought I heard.
And how deep will that be?
That pipe?
Yeah.
The same inverts that the 24-inch are. We'll hold the same locations that they are
How
now.
much cover will there be on it?
I'd have to look at the drawings, but I'm pretty sure we have a couple feet across that. It looks to me like we have 2.5 feet of cover.
And how much is there presently?
It would be 12 inches, yeah, 12 inches, yeah, 3.5.
3.5?
Yes, 3.5.
So you're reducing the amount of cover.
Correct.
Because I think the fire department uses this for parking.
Yeah, well, right now it's a old clay tile and reinforced concrete in sections. It's kind of dilapidated. We'll be using new heavy density polyethylene plastic pipe, which is a double walled system, which they use at airports. So it's very structurally sound material.
That referenced the construction entrance off of Muse Bishop on Oak Street. Has there been any discussion with PennDOT about possibly reducing the speed limit in that area because of the construction?
There hasn't to date.
I'm not sure what the process would have to be, but it just seems if we're having vehicles making left turns and possibly reduced speed in that area only during the construction phases, like they do in many areas when the construction is out.
We can reach out and find out, but I caution you that it's only when they're usually doing work on the state route itself.
Right, that's
So
what
it would be
I
a
was
harder
wondering.
task. We can approach it with that.
No, it would be a prevention thing.
Right, and we're already doing some consultation with them on a study to do improvements for the egress.
And also along the north side of the building where the dumpsters are going to be, is that it looks like a wall of some sort on the left-hand side that would go out protecting the dumpsters from?
Yeah, that's more or less a screen wall, which was part of, you either had to screen your dumpsters with a wall or with some landscaping. So we chose, since we were putting them already hidden in a sunken dock area, we just decided to build a wall a little higher to make it a screening purpose.